Have you ever wondered why some people are valued everywhere they go, while others are constantly overlooked? Think about it for a second. Why is it that one person's opinion immediately grabs attention the moment they speak, while another person can say the exact same thing and nobody seems to care? It's strange, isn't it? Because most people spend years trying to earn appreciation. They help others whenever they're asked. They stay loyal. They sacrifice their time. They put other people's needs before their own. And yet, despite all of that, they often feel invisible. Maybe you've experienced it yourself. Maybe you've gone out of your way for someone only to realize they barely noticed your effort. Maybe you've always been available, always supportive, always there when people needed you. But somehow, the respect never matched the effort. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how people suddenly change when they realize they no longer have easy access to you? It's strange. The same people who acted like you were always going to be there suddenly become more interested in what you're doing. Why does that happen? After all, you're still the same person. Your personality didn't change overnight. Your skills didn't magically improve. So what changed? The answer reveals something important about human nature. Most people think value comes from constantly proving yourself, being more helpful, being more available, but that's not usually how people see value. Think about it. When something is always there, we stop paying attention to it, not because it's worthless, but because we assume it will never leave. And that's exactly where many people make a costly mistake. They give away their time too easily, their attention too freely, their energy without limits. Then they wonder why nobody seems to appreciate it. Machiavelli understood something that most people never notice. People don't always value what is constantly offered. They pay attention to what appears important. They respect what seems difficult to replace. And they become curious about what isn't always available to them. That's why the moment you start valuing your own time, other people often begin to value it too. It's not magic. It's not luck. And it's definitely not an accident. It's psychology. In this video, you'll discover 7 powerful psychological tricks that can help you become more respected, more appreciated, and far more valuable in the eyes of others, without begging for attention, chasing approval, or pretending to be someone you're not. Some of these lessons may completely change the way you think about influence, respect, and human behavior. So before we begin, comment below. I know my value. Number 1. Stop giving everyone unlimited access. Imagine 2 people. Both are kind, both are capable, both are willing to help others. But there's one important difference. The first person gives everyone unlimited access to their time. They're always available, always saying yes, always adjusting their priorities to fit someone else's plans. The second person is helpful too, but they understand something that many people never learn. Their time matters, their attention matters, their energy matters, and because they understand that, they protect those things carefully. Now here's the interesting part. People often respect the second person more, not because they're smarter, not because they're richer, but because they send a clear message through their behavior. They show that their life has value, and human nature notices that. Think about the people you've respected throughout your life, the people who seemed confident, the people who carried themselves with quiet strength. Most of them weren't desperately trying to please everyone around them. They weren't running in 10 different directions, trying to satisfy every request. They understood that every yes comes with a cost, because every time you give your attention to one thing, you're taking it away from something else. That's why one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that constant availability creates appreciation. In reality, it often creates the opposite. When people become used to unlimited access, they stop seeing it as something valuable. They begin to expect it. And once something becomes an expectation, gratitude often disappears. You can see this pattern everywhere. The person who is always available is often the person people think about the least. Not because they're unimportant, but because everyone assumes they'll always be there. Machiavelli understood this side of human nature very well. He once said, "Familiarity breeds contempt." It's a simple sentence, but it contains a powerful lesson. When people become too familiar with your presence, your time, and your attention, they can slowly stop appreciating them. That doesn't mean you should become cold. It doesn't mean you should stop helping people. That's not the lesson. The lesson is learning the difference between being kind and being constantly accessible. Those are not the same thing. A person can be generous without allowing everyone unlimited access to their life. A person can be supportive without sacrificing every personal priority. A person can care about others while still protecting their own peace. And that's where real self-respect begins. Because every time you say yes to something that doesn't deserve your time, you're often saying no to something that does. Maybe it's your goals, maybe it's your growth, maybe it's your family, maybe it's simply your peace of mind. The people who are valued most understand this. They don't treat their time like an endless resource. They recognize that every day comes with limits. And because of that, they become more intentional about where their energy goes. Something interesting happens when you start living this way. People begin to notice. They realize your attention isn't automatic. They understand that your presence has meaning. And that understanding naturally creates more respect. Not because you're demanding it, but because you're demonstrating it. Remember, people often learn how to treat you by watching how you treat yourself. If you constantly communicate that your time doesn't matter, many people will believe it. But when you show that your time has value, others are far more likely to value it too. The first step to becoming valued by others is simple. Stop giving everyone unlimited access to the most valuable thing you own. Number 2. Use the power of mystery. Now here's something most people never think about. The more you explain yourself, the less interesting you often become. That sounds backwards, doesn't it? After all, we're taught that being open is always a good thing. We're told to tell people what we're planning, what we're working on, what we're thinking. And sometimes that's fine, but there is a hidden cost that